Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the logo. Now, that's proper. Attention, passengers. This is your pilot speaking. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for flying. I hope this stream and this flight find you well. I'm doing good. Well, it's been kind of a weird day. Maybe not the best of days, but I figured why not see it off with a nice, relaxing flight. That said, this is going to be a slightly longer flight. You know, before I get rid of the logo here, you know, you can't see what I'm doing quite yet. No, we have enough fuel. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're good. Okay. One more quick adjustment here. Flight departure time of 6 p.m. Meaning we might see the sunset. Then again, we are flying west, so we may just stay ahead of it. I suppose we'll find out as we go. Anyways, with no further ado, let's get on to the runway, shall we? Wait for it. Wait for it. And we're waiting for it. And if you're still with me after all this waiting, bless you. You're a trooper.
Philadelphia Tower Beechcraft 614 ready for IFR departure runway 9er right.
Beechcraft 614, altimeter 30.05, wind 082 at 5.
So tonight we'll be flying out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, bound for Columbus, Ohio, which is bound for home for me. So that's kind of nice. It's a veritable homecoming. I will get in Discord in a second. I think for takeoff I'll forego that just so I can concentrate on one thing at a time. But I'll make the switch here once we get airborne. I think I could also use a little song, maybe. Maybe I'll line something up. Let me see. All right. That's the one I want to hear. Okay. So let's see. We got a departure time of 6 o'clock. We're about a minute behind schedule. Wind showing at 5 knots, but let's look at real time. Let's see. Of course, we want to clean up all this stuff as is usual. Again, we'll be flying the Beechcraft. What are we doing? We're taking off east and then coming about. Okay. I guess I didn't realize that when I was looking at the flight plan. We'll turn off that warning. Alright. For now, all the lights are fine. Let me deal with a few pre-flight things here. Pitot heat. God, King Zul, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. I really think that's all we need to do. Beezer, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. And yes, let's hope for smooth skies. So far it looks smooth, whether in weather in Philadelphia is 67 degrees. We got a 3-mile-per-hour wind out of the north. We're looking at an estimated flight time of 2 hours, 17 minutes. Should put us there in and around 8:20 if everything goes well. We took on a little extra fuel because this is a slightly longer flight. In terms of weather in Columbus, I suppose we'll check in on that mid-flight as we get closer to appraise our passengers on that number. All right. Let's see. I guess we are ready. You know what I was wondering today? How many passengers do we actually carry? So there's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so pilot and co-pilot included, we've got 11 people. I think in the last flight I said something along the lines of 19. Not quite 19. I do want to see, since they have us departing east, a little curious about that. Yeah, I suppose what we'll do is I'll keep it manual until we make that turn to the left around waypoint Hadney, and then we'll kick in the autopilot and get to cruising altitude at that point. Prior to that, I'm gonna keep the cockpit sealed until we make that turn, and then I'll open up the Discord. It is quite a bit for the little plane. Yeah, it's almost like I don't want to say an executive jet. I mean, yeah, that's why I like this plane. That it's not quite a Cessna. I don't know that it's quite the hobbyist plane. It truly is for transit, but not quite an airline. That said, I have been brushing up on the Airbus A320, so at some point we'll be taking some commercial flights. I don't know if I wanted to continue these legs. So far I've been continuing them. We started in Halifax. I don't know if I'm going to the West Coast. That was my initial idea. Now I'm kind of thinking, since this is a homecoming flight, it's taking me back to Columbus, that this might be the last leg of the journey for this particular series, and then maybe switch to Airbus. Of course, for the Airbus, I always had those in-flight movies and a few other flight things, like I had a little video about what was on the menu and stuff like that. I usually ran 2, maybe 3 videos for that. Anyways, I'm just getting the cabin, and really we ought to get airborne. So let's go ahead and do that. Flaps are good. Let's contact ATC, let them know that we are ready to depart east. Actually, no, we don't need to. We're already cleared. We do need to set the altimeter 30.05. 30.05. Check. Alright. Okay, fasten your safety belts. Keep your trays in the upright position. We'll be taking off right now. Seeing as we're leaving Philly, we're loaded up with cream cheese. Not that generic brand. We've got the Philadelphia cream cheese. So that's exciting. I know everybody's ready to dig in. This flight is gonna get gassy. Let's give her a little extra throttle here. A little more still. And we are airborne. Let's retract the landing gear. Get those flaps in order. And we will start climbing.
Beechcraft 614, contact Philadelphia. Departure on 119.75. Good day.
119.75 for Beechcraft 614.
And once again,
Philadelphia departure Beechcraft 614 is passing
we'll kick in the
800 feet,
autopilot
climbing
once we
13,000
make
feet.
this turn successfully.
Beechcraft 614, Philadelphia departure altimeter 30.05. Continue as planned.
Downtown Philly is over there somewhere. Not really the time for me to be sightseeing, though, is it? It's since we do have a maneuver coming up. I don't necessarily think that Hadney, Waypoint Hadney, is technically maybe it is. Maybe technically it is a waypoint that we have to deal with. We're at 3,000 feet and climbing. It's beautiful weather for it, and anticipated weather in Columbus is pretty good as well. Alright, here we go into our bank. This is a manual bank, so bear with me, folks. Oh, that is a little hard. But at least we've got our safety belts on and we're not milling about the cabin. Come on. Want to make sure, just in case Hadney is a waypoint we need to hit, we want to make sure we do that manually. Otherwise, I'm afraid I kick in the autopilot, it's going to want to turn around and hit that waypoint. You know, I'm not positive about that, but that's my assumption. Alright, let's get her level. And now, let's start dealing with autopilot and all that business. Autopilot on, yaw dampener on, nav mode on. Okay, we've got that. I don't know what altitude they want us at yet. However, let's just wing it and put us at 10,000 feet, I think. Actually. Yeah, let's go for 10. That seems safe anyways. On. Climb at 2,000 feet per minute. Let's see what we're doing here. Is the plane doing what it wants to? What I want it to, rather? Center this on the plane. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Alright. Okay, we're looking at another... Well, we anticipate another smooth flight. Not one of those other anti-smooth flights. We'll get up to our cruising altitude. That's quite a bit. It's time for us to get pilot's licenses. And then we can recreate the scene from Top Gun or Armageddon. That's what Zool says there. And yeah, I'm down. You know, maybe for Top Gun. I don't know about Armageddon. As we're doing this, let me check. See where ATC wants us flight level wise.
Beechcraft 614, contact Washington Center on 132.525. Good day.
I don't see what altitude they want us at. 13,000.
Beechcraft 614.
13,000. Okay,
Washington
we can do
Center
that.
Beechcraft 614 is passing 9,000 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614, Washington Center altimeter, tree 0.05. Continue to Glomo as planned.
There's 13,000. Back over here, turn vertical speed back on. Continue our climb at 2,000 feet per minute. It's looking good, looking good. I'll hit you with some tunes before I open up the Discord. Little anthem for us here.
Delta 865 descend and maintain flight level tree 50.
I don't know how loud that is on your end, but hopefully not too loud.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 50 Delta 865. Delta 865, contact Washington Center on 124.775. Good day. Delta 2642, descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Going to 124.775, Delta 865. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, Delta 2642. Beechcraft 614, climb and maintain flight level 260. American 657, descend and maintain flight level tree 50. Delta 2642, you are tree 4 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS Victor runway 9er, right approach via Mike X-ray Echo transition. Clear to Mike X-ray Echo.
Climb and maintain flight level 260 Beechcraft 614.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS Victor runway 9er, right approach via Mike X-ray Echo transition. Clear to Mike X-ray Echo Delta 2642.
26,000 feet. Is that song coming through at all?
Beechcraft 614, contact New York Center on 135.45. Good day.
No, it's not picking it up. Oh well, that's nay on that. I can hear it, but you can't.
Beechcraft 614. New York Center Beechcraft 614 is at 13,000 feet, climbing flight level 260.
X-nay on that plan. Let's just hop into Discord.
Beechcraft 614, New York Center altimeter tree 0.08. Continue to Glomo as planned.
They want us at 26,000 feet. It's pretty high for the old Beechcraft, but okie dokie. At least it's one steady climb to that level. It's not.
And maintain flight level tree 10.
They're not asking us to do it incrementally, and that's good.
Climb and maintain flight level tree Rouge 1747.
I wonder why I couldn't get the music to pick up.
American 1802.
My name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everyone calls me Giorgio. Oh, noble. That's in the Discord. I'm seeing that.
Descend and maintain flight level 190.
Try that one more time, because it's something, though it doesn't totally matter for this flight, it's something, I would like to be able to do. Let me double check this. I'll troubleshoot. No in-flight entertainment, no music, no nothing. You ain't gonna get it. You're just gonna get the dulcet tones of my voice. Whether you like it or not. That's all we have to offer you. Except for some Philadelphia cream cheese. If that's what you're into.
New York Center, American 490.
Tell me and be honest. Is that what you're into?
American 490, New York Center altimeter 30.09er. Continue to track as planned. American 490, contact New York Center on 132.5.
Co-pilot view. We're at 17,000 and climbing. Passenger view.
American 490.
You know, honestly, at this speed and flying west, I think we will stay ahead of the sunset. I believe that, anyways. In my heart, in my loins, in my soul. So the song I was going to play was going to be Lucifer Airlines. Because it's devilish. Crash positions because we're going down on Lucifer Airlines. Taking submissions, turning no one down, or hiring all kinds. It's beautiful. We know your name and your cross to bear. You'll suffer for your crimes. And we'll save an extra seat for you on the day you die.
American 1802 traffic.
That's at least the first verse.
At flight level 200 Beechcraft King Air. Report them in sight. Beechcraft 614 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 200 generic.
I don't see the plane they're talking about.
Beechcraft 614 traffic in sight.
New York Center, United 2600 is passing flight level.
I guess we saw it,
climbing
even though we
flight level
didn't. The
330.
co-pilot saw it.
United 2555, contact New York Center on 132.5. Good day. United 2600.
How is
New York
Samuel
Center.
Lizzie?
Continue to Lima Victor Tango as planned.
If I didn't already welcome
Going to
you, welcome
132.5,
aboard.
United 2555.
We've got a bit of a flight on our hands.
American 1802 traffic in sight.
Hold on, we're getting a stall warning. Let's pick up speed. We're about to level out, though. want to slow our rate of ascent. But we still want to climb to 23,000. Wait, we're still climbing?
American 490 descent.
Oh, because they want us at 26,000. We've got a little extra weight tonight. Little extra fuel. Just because from Halifax to Boston,
Descend and maintain 9,800 feet.
we were really flirting with the least amount of fuel we could carry. This is a slightly longer flight, so we took on some extra. Of course, that translates us to being a little heavier, of course. So I don't know how that will change things. I still get a little concerned with the Beechcraft when we're talking altitudes between 20,000 and 30,000. Anything above 30,000, I kind of hope ATC doesn't put us at those levels. They might try to, because, you know, according to the books, this thing can fly at 35,000. That's flight ceiling, though, and so we certainly don't want to be trying to cruise at that flight level. Oh, I tell you, it's been a day. Got some rough family news that I don't really want to get into. Some of you are already aware. If you were aware of the suspicions, I can tell you now that it's been confirmed. And so that sucks. And then my son had a little incident tonight. Maybe sprained his ankle. We hope it didn't break it. We're gonna wait until morning. He's sound asleep now, just to see if the problem persists. But man, it's been a day. Didn't get much sleep last night. However, I did have a good time last night. Way early in the morning, I mustered up the energy to, way late at night, I should say, to join Zool for some sailing shenanigans, and that was fun. We did all right. Could have done better, could have done worse. One of those kind of deals. In tonight's episode, we discover what happened to Flight 69. History tells us it disappeared, being piloted by an amateur adult actor. Let's watch. Grayson, how are you? Good to see you, my friend.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain flight level tree 20.
Well, they want us at 32,000 feet.
Climb and
Last
maintain
time,
flight level tree 20 Beechcraft 614.
the last time this happened, we started suffering from a cabin pressure issue. I really don't want to climb to 32,000, but we're gonna. Initially, I think we're gonna attempt to comply here. It goes against my gut, but we'll see. I mean, ATC is supposed to know what they're doing. I just think, especially since we're extra heavy. I don't know, a little trepidation there. I'll tell you, we're not going to climb at a very steep angle. And that should, once we reach it, I cannot imagine they would send us any higher. That should be our cruising altitude for tonight's flight. Should, being the operative word. Should. So yeah, doing alright, Samuel. Been better, been worse, you know. He says, well, would you rather have more fuel and weight or glide the last few miles? I would take the former. Absolutely. Grayson checks in with all good here. Haven't caught an OMG stream in a bit. Hope Billy is okay. Yeah, he's good.
0.
Yeah, I hope it's just a sprain. And I suspect it is, because though I didn't see it happen, like right after it happened, he walked over to his mother. However, after that, he insisted on not walking on that foot anymore for the remainder of the evening. And I think that's what troubles me. Of course, somebody his age, and maybe especially him, tends to get a little dramatic.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet, American 490.
As I'm sure we all did at that age. So, as long as the pain is under control, and it certainly is, I think we can afford to wait and see.
Beechcraft 614 contact New York Center on 132.5. Good day.
Strange are having us contact New York Center.
132.5
New York City.
for Beechcraft 614. New York Center Beechcraft 614 is passing flight level 280, climbing flight level 320.
Beechcraft 614 New York Center. Continue to Vinny as planned.
Or 28,000. Almost at 29,000. Still no cabin pressure warnings. I'm not too familiar with the where's that pressurization stuff. I'm not gonna mess with it. I feel like maybe that was my problem last time. But there's the dials for it. Seeing as I'm not very familiar with it, I'd prefer not to mess with it, but in case of emergency, I certainly reserve the right. But really, if I do, I'm just fiddling about. I have no knowledge of what I'm really supposed to be doing.
132.2 Beechcraft 614. New York Center Beechcraft 614 is passing flight level 295, climbing flight level 320.
Beechcraft 614 New York Center. Continue to Vinny as planned.
'What are they telling us? I heard decimal, but I think they're talking about a radio. Yeah, they're talking about a channel, not the barometric pressure. So in terms of that, I think we're still at 30.05. I just heard the word decimal and assumed that may be what they're referring to. We're at 30,000 feet and climbing. So far without incident. I think it's a good time to turn off our taxi lights and all that. Probably overdue. Landing lights off. Taxi lights, okay, they were already off. Okay, all of that looks good. Did I turn pitot heat on? Yep. At some point, we'll be able to mill around the cabin.
New York Center, United 2600, flight level 330. United 2600, New York Center, continue to Lima Victor Tango as planned.
Cabin pressure warnings, okay. Wow, this is where we requested drop in altitude. I'd rather do that than mess with cabin pressurization.
614 climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 Beechcraft 614.
I want to
New York Center, Beechcraft
descend by
614.
10,000.
Request flight level 260.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain flight level 260.
Thank you, Flight Control. Thanks for being
Descend and
understanding.
maintain flight level 260 Beechcraft 614.
New York Center, United 2135, flight level 360.
As it stands, oxygen's thinning out. We're all getting a little high.
Continue to Lima India Tango as planned. United 2555, contact Washington Center on 134.15. Good day.
We will descend until
Going
these
to
two warnings
134.15,
are gone.
United 2555.
If it doesn't kick in at 26, we'll request another altitude decrease. See how that goes. From looking it up, we'd have about a half an hour until there was trouble. So, in other words, this is your captain speaking. No reason to be concerned. The steward says, I'm feeling lightheaded. Drop the mast. Passes out. Samuel says, I was playing this the other day and I saw a pool, but it was just cyan grass. I think there's a lack of oxygen. There is. No need for concern. We have time. Like I said, we have in this particular model we have about a half an hour on our side, and we're only a couple minutes into the warnings. So I do not think this is that's not what you tell the passengers. This is not going to be a problem. This is something we've experienced, and we know how to deal with this. We don't know how to deal with this, co-pilot. That's where my invisible co-pilot is. I mean, we've got this, but we could dump cabin pressure. We could climb rate pressurization, cabin pressure, altitude. Those are my three options. I'd rather not mess with them and just get back down to a reasonable altitude would be great. That said, we are going to be flying over the Appalachians, but it's not like they peak at 20,000 feet, even, let alone 26,000 feet. And check it out, the warnings went away. I mean, I disabled the audio warnings, but yeah, the warnings are gone. I think the passed out Zool would disagree with the half hour. Well, the thing about Zool back there is you're going to want to see how many of those miniature alcohol bottles are empty. Because that too may have something to do with it. No, I don't know. Who knows why he passed out? I know he called for the oxygen mask to be dropped, but in my confusion, I dropped him out the plane. So they're going to be down there somewhere in the Pennsylvania countryside. Maybe somebody can put him to good use down there. Wonderful clear skies. This is current weather. That's kind of nice. We've actually been very lucky with weather so far in every single flight. So that's a good deal. We're at 26,100 feet and descending. will level out at 26,000, and at that point, passengers may feel free to mill around the cabin. Try to bring Zool back to consciousness. As for me, since we are leveling out, this will be my first opportunity to step away for a second.
134.15 for Beechcraft 614. Washington Center, Beechcraft 614, flight level 260.
Beechcraft 614 Washington Center, continue to Cape Cod as planned.
Love it. That's my favorite instruction from ATC, is just continue as planned. I love when they're not messing with you. They're just saying, do what you're doing. And we can happily comply with that. Alright, folks, you may know about the cabin. I'm going to step away for just a moment. Be right back with you. Your co-pilot is in control, which I guess technically will be Zool tonight. Once we wake him up.
Generic 818, contact Washington Center on 120.65. Good day. Climb and maintain flight level 290 American 952. Going to 120.65 generic 818. Washington Center, United 2600, flight level 330. United 2600 Washington Center, continue to Lima Victor Tango as planned.
I'm amazed at how far behind this stream actually seems to be. Let me check that on my phone. Huh. Oh, I see. There we go. So no, the stream's not as far back behind as I Zool asks, what if something actually happens? It's a good point. We fake it till we make it. You would just say, attention passengers, it may appear that we're descending. I do have full control of the plane. This descent is, I'm doing it. I don't know. I guess that's what we do. Samuel says, someone is just going to get carpet bombed by oxygen masks. And when Zool asked, what if something actually happens, Samuel responds, and we hope Otto gets back in time. We go knock on the laboratory door and say, Otto? You might want to come back up here for a second. Or maybe permanently for the remainder of the flight would be ideal for all parties involved. Let's zoom out a little bit, check our flight path, flight plan. Oh, no, that's
Southwest
zooming in.
152 tree, descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
Yeah, somebody's tailing. We're being followed. That is as far as we can zoom out.
Southwest 152 tree, descend and maintain 14,000 feet.
I dare say we might be ahead of schedule. The flight was... No, we're not. We're not quite halfway, and we're 45 minutes into the flight. The flight was estimated to be 2 hours 17 minutes, so honestly, we're about just on time. We took off a few minutes late, so with our airspeed, we might be making up for that lost time. I mean, we do have her at full throttle right now, because I know how y'all like it, full throttle. Captain, look! Although you say that and there's the horizon coming in fast, I like to think that as soon as you hear Captain, look, we look out the window and there's a freaking galleon coming in shooting at us. Like, how's it possible? I don't know, but I think we've all seen galleons fly in Sea of Thieves, so it is altogether possible. So many of these things I'm afraid to hit. Although I don't think they'll change anything. Like, what happens if we hit audio? Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Speaker. Attention, passengers. Yeah, it works.
Kilo Oscar Kilo Victor, automated weather observation 2200 Zulu. Wind calm.
You know, all this stuff, this is where I'm glad that I have the co-pilot set to deal with that stuff, to deal with AC communications, ATC communications. Now, how do I close this out? Okay. Simple enough. I don't think I want to hear that. Or I don't think I want to mess with that, that is. That's cool. You can see the elevation on this. So what's new, passengers? Anybody got anything exciting from this weekend? Or from before or beyond? Anything new or unique, or is everything recycled and used? You went into no-fly zone, and that plane is an F-18 coming to intercept you. That would be great. I have had a military base yell at me in this game, but I haven't seen any interceptors come after us yet. Let's zoom in a little bit, see if we can pick up that plane again. Yeah, he's directly behind us. There he is. Right there. So he's a little bit above us and behind. I wonder if he'll overtake us. I mean, considering he's above us, it stands to reason he might be an airliner. Just wonder if he's gaining. It almost looks like he is. Let's keep it like that so we can keep an eye on him.
Rouge 17907, you are
Meep
500
you.
feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and
Meep
maintain
you.
flight level 320.
Everyone say it with me. Say it at home. Even under your breath. Meep you. What is meep you? It's just a waypoint I saw and it seemed like a fun thing to
Descend and
say.
maintain
I'm
flight
enjoying
level
it.
320 Rouge 17907.
She just said rouge. Wonder what she's talking. Wonder what the bitch is on about now. So again, my co-pilot and I are happy to have you on board. We've got 11 souls on board. My pronouns are kiss my ass, and I'm happy to see you. Pennsylvania, I would presume. I mean, hell, the majority of this flight will be Pennsylvania. Oh, a little buffering there. Do have weather off to the north, the northeast, but again, we've been really fortunate in terms of weather. I do wish there were avatars of the pilots and passengers. That'd be kind of cool. Unnecessary, though. I can see why they wouldn't be in a hurry to put that in.
Good day. Beechcraft 614 contact Washington Center on 120.65. Good day.
Hear that, co-pilot? Contact Washington Center.
120.65 for Beechcraft 614.
What
Washington
was that
Center,
glitch?
Beechcraft 614, flight level 260.
Beechcraft 614 Washington Center. Continue as planned. Washington Center, United 2600, flight level 330.
I hope that wasn't hot mic to them.
United 2600,
What, my
Washington
pronouns?
Center. Continue to Lima Victor Tango as planned.
There should be passengers in the seats. Yeah, I agree. Feels weird without them. Yeah. I mean, with the exterior views, there are. You can see the pilots, but...
Beechcraft 614 contact Washington Center on 133.65. Good day.
See, I don't know if you can see them. You can see a pilot,
133.65 for
co-pilot
Beechcraft
there.
614.
I don't
Washington
think I
Center,
can zoom in
Beechcraft
on this
614, flight
mode.
level 260.
Beechcraft 614 Washington Center. Continue as planned. United 1609er descend and maintain flight level 350.
How about that plane behind us? Huh, I do not see him now.
United 1609er descend and maintain flight level 350.
Oh, because he broke off. Damn, he is moving. Look at that. That was weird. I feel like they were just catching up. That seemed glitchy. So he's over here somewhere. I see him. Got a visual on him right there. Just hardly. I can see his lights, really. Either lights or reflection. Would I be able to see him from the cockpit? Nope. Nope, he's too far back. I'd say he's off our port quarter.
Washington Center, United 2135 is at flight level tree 60, climbing flight level tree 60. United 1609er, contact Washington Center on 13.2. Good day. United 2135.
Also, don't ask about how I got on the plane 20 minutes into the flight. As Samuel says, it's a fair question. You can always account for those that depart and jump out, but how we get more people aboard, it's a damn good question. I don't think it is port and starboard while flying, although I know for Zeppelins it was. Zeppelins really used nautical terms. But of course Zeppelins still had that wheel too, you know what I mean? They had what you would consider a helm. And I might be wrong. It's just, to my knowledge, no, it would be left and right. As best as I know, which I wouldn't put much stock in that. Tried to fly a helicopter in this game, and no, it's not easy at all. It's much more difficult than a plane. Very sensitive, and wow, I've heard that like you can go in and mess with the sensitivity, but the one problem with that is, while it's so sensitive, if you needed to go all the way suddenly with it, you know, one direction or the other, then you'd want to be able to. It's just in calm weather, it seems way too sensitive. It's cool though, but we'll give it that. It's cool being able to hover over stuff if I can, in the moment, pull off a hover. Banking a little bit to the right, aren't we? Maybe not. That's just autopilot trying to maintain course.
Southwest 223 Washington Center. Continue to hotel as planned.
We are at speeds of 201 knots. Well, that's interesting. Knots. So, I mean, they use nautical miles. Boy, that makes me question the whole starboard port thing. We're at 26,000 and holding steady. Heading almost directly east. I'm sorry, west. Wonder what that is. Down, up. That might just be wherever my flight stick is. There's our altitude. The altitude in blue here is where I've set the autopilot to put it. You know, so it's not your altitude, it's where the plane's trying to be. .92. I don't know what that is. I am, anyways.
205 is passing flight level tree 60, climbing flight level tree 60. Avianca 205 Washington Center. Continue as planned.
I'm guessing most of the stuff in blue, almost like that 26,000 up here, I'm guessing most of the stuff in blue is where the plane wants to be according to our flight plan. So 360 for our heading is maybe where, I don't know if that's where we want to be or if that's where Port Columbus is from here. John Glenn International anyways. But I would assume that 271 degrees is our true heading right now. So, courtesy of Philadelphia, we'll be serving bagels and cream cheese. If you're not a cream cheese enjoyer, we have peanut butter and jelly and chips, because this is an economy flight now. What resort is that? Wynwood Fly-In Resort. Well, maybe we should fly on in. Break autopilot and just dive on down there. Probably not. Probably shouldn't do that. Because frankly, if I break autopilot, I don't know if we get it back. Let's see. Zool says, it says they are technically still that, but most pilots just use left and right. Ah, okay. Samuel says, Google says eastbound is left and westbound is right on a plane. Really? So under the assumption you're facing northbound, I guess. That's weird. That would throw me off too. Yeah. Wouldn't throw me off the plane, it just threw me off my rocker. Sorry, I shouldn't have belched. That's bad hosting. That's what that is. In case anyone was wondering. So with our extra fuel, oh yeah, I think we're good. Again, we on our first flight of this most recent bout of flying, we didn't quite have enough fuel. We had enough fuel to make it to the airport, but we had to do one go around and didn't have enough fuel for that, so we didn't buy ourselves that extra fuel. However, in this particular flight, we're flying, Philly to Columbus, but I have enough fuel to go to St. Louis. So, yes, I definitely made sure we had plenty, just in case we had to do a go around. It's a lesson learned. Always keep a little extra fuel, just in case. I mean, I have that blind faith that autopilot will get us there. But apparently I didn't have... I had too much faith on that first flight.
Going to 128.6 Beechcraft 614.
Samuel says, I don't really like it when the person flying the plane I'm in says, I'm guessing. And I assume a lot. I'm guessing that was directed at me. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that though. Hey, my confidence is more than it was with this particular plane. And that's like, part of the reason that I've been flying the Airbus off stream is to try to get more comfortable with it. That way I'm not, no pun intended, but winging it with that on a stream. Of course, this plane is more appropriate. We don't have enough viewers to merit an airliner, But 11 seats, that's almost maximum capacity in my stream, so know, if we ever find ourselves with 11 viewers, that's pretty healthy for an automatic stream. So I think we got ourselves covered in this instance. But it wouldn't stop me from flying the Airbus, because, you know, the extra seats, you could actually, like, put up the armrest and just lay in the seats, and boy, wouldn't that be nice. Maybe we'll pull seats out and put beds in. Make the entire damn plane first class or something. Everyone get their bagels and cream cheese. I can only hope. Me, I'm gonna go with the plain bagel, toasted, cream cheese, and I think we'll go with a grape jelly. I was trying to decide between that and strawberry. Samuel says, no, I think the best thing would be for you to fly an F-18 and we all ride on the wings. It's certainly the safest thing. I suspect if we were on an F-15, oh, we'd be there by now. You know, it's, But then again, I have not flown that in this game. It just seems too much power for little old me. Do not operate those windshield wipers on dry glass. Don't do it. Any more controls up there? Oh, are those our oxygen masks? No. Maybe. Wonder what those are. It actually doesn't tell us because those are inoperable. Crossfeed. Well, here we go. Right and left in terms of fuel tanks, which are certainly in the wings. So there they say right and left. ELT position is. Well, considering it says emergency use only, we're not going to find out. Look at all this crap the co-pilot has at his disposal. I bet it's mostly inoperable stuff. If not all. Yeah, you can't mess with any of that. Nor would I. Maintaining our altitude and speed. Things are good on that number. I think I could hold on with you doing 7G turns at Mach speed. Well, that's very optimistic. You know, let's try to stay in the plane. That George Carlin line. Fuck that. You get on the plane, I'm getting in the plane. I wonder why earlier my song wouldn't play. It makes me sad. Not too terribly sad, but somewhat. And I don't see a resolution for it in Elgato, and frankly, I'd be stupid to try to start messing with that shit now. Because next thing I know, you'd be hearing two of me. We'd be back at square one. In terms of setting up Elgato audio options, settings, whatever. Got a plane off of our right quarter. If he's above us or below us. Do not see him. Which is weird because he seemed pretty close. I guess if he's below us, it'd be kind of hard for me to spot. Oh, there he is. Almost directly above us.
Beechcraft 614, contact Indianapolis Center on 125.55. Good day.
125.55 Beechcraft 614. Indianapolis Center, Beechcraft 614, flight level 260.
Beechcraft 614, Indianapolis Center. Continue to KHAN as planned.
Starting our turn here.
Indianapolis Center, United 2135 is at flight level tree 60, climbing flight level tree 60. United 2135 Indianapolis Center, continue to Lima India Tango as planned.
Might be over West Virginia at this point, not positive, but according to this map, it's kind of looking like it. Just that little slice where West Virginia pops up, kind of wedges in between Ohio and Pennsylvania. I think what it is would be this area right here, like this river here. Everything east of it, I want to say, is Pennsylvania. Up here is the Ohio River. So, still got a little bit of time before we enter the heart of it all, as they call Ohio. Because it looks like a heart, but it doesn't. Not really. Not really. I don't know what kind of hearts you've been looking at, but nope. Maybe because of its position in the United States, is that where the heart would be? Which, if it is, I ask you, which states are the lungs? God, which state? I'm guessing Texas would be like the intestines. Maybe. Would you think Florida would be the penis? I mean, it's weird that it's off to the side, but I don't know. The anatomy of the country, designated by states. Discuss. Discuss. Let's get to the bottom of this. Samuel says you need to put a sticky note on all the buttons that you can't press that just says Zool's hands only. Yeah, that's alright. Can you open the sunroof? We can't see the other plane that's over us. Yeah. There are a few vintage planes that do actually have a sunroof that you can retract. That German plane, the Junkers, what is it? Is it Junkers 52 or something like that? I don't know. But it has one. It's kind of cool. Well, I might grab another quick puff. Zool will be, your co-pilot will be in charge. So we'll take his seat, give you that view. Right, it's truly the autopilot's still in charge, but yeah, we'll have the co-pilot monitor it. I will be back long before we cross the Ohio River. We are the heart of America, says Zool. Like we are, or is that going to be Ohio or something? It is what they say. Ohio, the heart of it all. Which, it all kind of sounds like more than the states, so you think my state has the hubris to actually think that it's the heart of the world? I mean, that's some narcissism that could probably only be paralleled by New York and San Francisco. It's interesting. I wonder which state would be the small intestine. Florida is the devil's anus. That would make the Gulf like its leakage. With that lovely visual, I am going to sneak into the restroom aboard this plane and have a cigarette. Otherwise, there's no smoking. I'm just kidding. There's always smoking on this flight. Hey, I'll be back. there's the Ohio River. By George, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, at least the general vicinity. So we have really caught up with this. We're keeping up with the sun. Because technically, if we had stayed motionless and back in Philly, it's already dark. So that's interesting, I guess, yeah. Flying east to west, or west to east, we can see a dramatic change. But this way, we're just kind of keeping ahead of it. Maybe just a little behind it. Seems like the sun is a little lower in the sky. What landmarks do we got down there? Can I not tell from here? Guess it just won't tell us on some of them. Like, what is that, I wonder? Wonder what the... Gallipolis, maybe? Zoll says, a plane with venting, so they could pump the air into a depressurized section of the plane so we could smoke in there. What's funny is, like, back when you could smoke on airlines, there wasn't much difference, and in fact, like, the smoking section was not far removed from, I mean, you could be sitting in the non-smoking section and honestly be right next to a seat that's you know, just one seat away from the smoking section. It's kind of weird. What I think's interesting, citing Zeppelins again, is the smoking lounge on those, especially the hydrogen-based Zeppelins, like the Hindenburg or whatever, with the Graf Zeppelin. In the case of the Hindenburg, they had a hermetically, would that be right, sealed room with its own pressurization that they could go smoke in. And it was a smoker's lounge, but it's just weird to think they would do that, something that's filled with hydrogen gas, seeing how flammable that is. I mean, makes them quite lucky that the Hindenburg didn't blow up. Oh, wait a second. I think it did. All right. See, it was trying to show me a landmark over there, but it's not anymore. Checkpoint Charlie. Huh. I thought that was in Germany. I didn't know he had a place in Ohio called Checkpoint Charlie. Wonder what that is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now crossing the Ohio River. We are currently flying above Ohio. Now, what state is the appendix, Sam class? That's a good question. What state would be the brain?
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain flight level 180.
Copy
Descend and
that.
maintain flight level 180 Beechcraft 614.
Descending to 18,000. Let's drop 2,000 feet per minute. called Eagle Field. Okay. Toasty Ghosty, how are you, man? Good to see you. Says, it's been a while, but I figured I'd stop by and leave a like before I go to bed. Much appreciated, my friend. Do sleep well tonight. Thank you for coming aboard. I'd offer you a bagel with the Philadelphia cream cheese we have on board, but I think we ate it all already. By the way, passengers, fasten your safety belts. We are descending. I know I'm a little late on that, but it is that time. I think we're going to be well ahead of schedule. That's what I get for Florida the whole time. Fuel still looks good.
Contact Indianapolis Center on 124.45. Good day.
He is in good shape. And really well ahead of schedule.
124.45 for United 1738.
So much for that concern about our departure being a few minutes late.
Beechcraft 614 contact Indianapolis Center on 124.45. Good day.
We are, of course, going to be landing in
124
John.
decimal for Flight Beechcraft 614.
We're of course going to be landing at
Beechcraft
John Glenn
614 is at
International,
flight level 220,
Columbus,
descending flight level
Ohio.
180.
Specifically, I think it's Gahanna, Ohio.
Beechcraft 614 Indianapolis
Current
Center.
weather there,
CLTRR
temperature of
as planned.
58 degrees, clear skies.
Indianapolis Center, United
Winds
1023
are
is
0.
passing flight level tree
Humidity
00, climbing flight
78%.
level tree
Looks like
00. United
looks like it's gonna be
1023
lovely down there.
Indianapolis Center. Continue to Yozum as planned.
It's a UFO right there. No, I don't know what that is, honestly. I see those from time to time. Not sure what it be. Oh, our speed's a little out of control. We're not getting a warning yet, but we will if we maintain. So, we'll pull back on the throttle just a tad. After all, we've got... we're well ahead of schedule. There we go. There we go. That's a little more comfortable. Kind of looks hazy. Still got a fair amount of cloud cover to the north, but I do think we'll avoid it. After all, that weather report about Columbus indicated it's clear skies and should remain so for the next hour or so. 0 winds. That's kind of nice.
United 1738, contact Indianapolis Center on 127.1. Good day.
We're still burning off speed, and I think that's okay. We'll see how much it continues to drop. If we start getting somewhere around... Yeah, honestly, let's give it a little more throttle. I'd like to keep it above 200 knots. There we go. Still slowing, but not by much.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain 11,000 11,000 feet.
Roger that.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet Beechcraft 614.
Descend at a rate of 1,500. Now we're picking up speed again. Let's pull back on the throttle a little bit. I like to keep that somewhere around 2,000 knots, or 2,000 knots. Damn! Around 200 knots. We're ahead of schedule, but not by that much. Passing Waypoint Clipper, then Hawking. I see a Waypoint Buckeye, pretty much. Oh, isn't that showing some state pride? We give those accursed trees a lot of clout here in this state. So when it says negative 2,000 feet, that means we're going 2,000 feet underground, right? That's right. Yes. John Glenn International has a real strange setup in that regard. It's where fun goes to die. Hideaway Hills Resort. I've heard of that. Never been. But we are really venturing into my neck of the woods now. In fact, I wonder if that's Buckeye Lake. Probably not. There's Willard Field. Probably not Buckeye Lake, because that's really only by car 20 minutes east of Columbus. It might actually be bigger than that little lake that I'm sitting there. And besides, we're coming from the southeast, not directly east. We're at 14,000 feet and descending. Descending to 11. Is that right? Clum? Some little town wanted to be Columbus. Just beyond that Clum is a body of water. I wonder what that is. And those clouds are entering
Beechcraft 614, you are 3 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Hammond transition. Cleared to Hammond.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Hammond transition. Cleared to Hammond Beechcraft 614.
4,000 feet. We have not even reached 11 yet, so I'm going to expedite this, because we do seem to be a little behind on our descent here. Let's drop at a rate of 2,300 feet per minute and see if that lets us catch up. I'll try to watch our speed, though, because I do see we're picking up speed. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And yeah, that is Buckeye Lake. In fact, I can already see Thomas Island, which is Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. He had a house on that island. And my aunt, actually many members of my family own property on that island. She still does, but not on that island, on that lake, I should say. Nobody but Dave Thomas owned property on that island. You know what the biggest insult is, though? If you boat past that island now, the new owners of it, they have a McDonald's flag flying. And I think they just do that as kind of a dick move, which Dave Thomas was a bit of a philanthropist. And, helps a lot of kids get adopted. His foundation helps a lot of kids get adopted or into foster care, so he's left a good legacy. So every time I see that McDonald's flag, I'm like, honestly, I'm like, fuck you guys. Not to say the Ronald McDonald House doesn't do some good work, but it just seems like a blatant insult and kind of unnecessary. Kind of like, you know, what did Dave do to you? Maybe his estate sold it at a premium and they're upset about that. I don't know. They just don't like Wendy's. That's understandable. So the wing fold up on this plane like a V-22 Osprey, and we land VTOL. Yeah, we could try it.
Beechcraft 614. Columbus approach Beechcraft 614 is passing 7,600 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 Columbus approach altimeter 30.14. Continue to Hammond as planned.
We'll have one more turn, a bank to the left, and then we'll be straight in. The Miller Farm. I'm familiar with that. Never knew there was an airstrip there, but this game kind of taught me that. And then I asked my cousin, that aunt that lives at Buckeye Lake still. I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, there is an airstrip there." I think Lee's Dog Patch, something that I'd never heard of either, is also an airstrip. One of those dirt strips, though, you know. What is autopilot doing? That was kind of a weird maneuver. But as long as we reach waypoint Hammond, we should be in good shape. I just don't understand why we deviated there for a moment. In fact, I'm going to turn off the half bank. No, it already was off. Okay. Okay, that works. Because we do want to do some steep banks, because we are really deviating from our course. We're at 4,000 feet. What was ATC's last in terms of altitude? Altimeter 30.14. We should adjust that. 30.14.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain 3,300 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,300 feet. Beechcraft 614.
Nope, why am I doing that? Come on. There we go. Pataskala, damn, we're close. We're very close to where I live.
Beechcraft 614, you are 10 miles east of Columbus. Contact Columbus Tower on 132.7 when inbound on the approach.
Speed's still around 200, so
Tower
that's
on 1
good.
tree 2.7 Beechcraft 614. Columbus Tower Beechcraft 614 9 miles east inbound ILS runway 28 left approach.
He said the magic word, approach.
Altimeter tree 0.1 wind calm cleared ILS runway 28 left approach.
I hope I'm not too premature with this, but
Cleared
we will go
ILS
ahead
runway
and hit
28
the
left
approach
approach
button.
Beechcraft 614.
And that should override our prescribed elevation and autopilot, which, yes, it did, because we just dipped under 3,300. Our descent is pretty strong. I have the runway in sight.
Beechcraft 614.
Let's get the flaps set for approach. Where are they?
Landing here.
Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and lower the landing gear. Yeah. I don't want to sound overconfident, but I do think we got this one. Let's kill our speed a little bit. Let's kill our speed more. We need less.
500.
Any second now, I'm going to disconnect autopilot. There was Hamilton Road we just passed over. Obviously, I'm very familiar with this area. Autopilot is disconnected. Hell yeah.
Beechcraft 614 exit runway when able.
Yeah, we got it. Roger that.
Beechcraft 614 contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er Beechcraft 614.
Nice. It doesn't always go that smooth. Turn that off. Oh, here we go is right. Well, there we went. I read this too late. Samuel says, I took a sleepy me a few seconds ago to realize that when you were talking about autopilot, you weren't talking in third person, saying autopilot. Yeah. All right. I never did turn on our landing lights. I gotta start doing that. But we can turn on our taxi lights. At this point, I think pit dot heat can be off now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, because there was a warning for that. All right. We made it, folks. We're gonna taxi to where we're supposed to be. Make sure we're clear. The giant blue arrows are helpful. I'm sure they have those in real life, don't they? It's like the yellow lines on a football game. We are about a half an hour ahead of schedule. I mean, that just goes to show you I was pushing her too hard. But I didn't see any negative consequence. The fuel situation worked out. We still have plenty. Could have done a few go-rounds, in fact. I'm not giving her enough throttle. Come on. Come on, you piece of shit Beechcraft. It's not. It's state-of-the-art. You're all safe. Don't worry. Now I'm gonna drive the plane to my house. No. Where are they parking us, though? I mean, we almost might as well be going to our house. Our house, my house. It's a very, very, very fine house. But no two cats in the yard. I've never been a cat person. Apologies. There's two cats in the yard. Life used to be so odd. Yeah, I sing it like the Artful Dodger, but whatever. It might be the best way to sing it, eh? I'd like to be able to do this without the blue guide lights, but I just don't know how that would be possible. You know, you land at an airport in this game and they're like, go ahead and pull up to gate 13B. I mean, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's nobody out here to meet us. That's depressing. Hell of a welcome committee, Ohio. At least in Philly, there was like a team there, a team there. Come on. Why did we stop? Let's go. Probably because I'm fiddling with the throttle so damn much. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nope, nope. This is where we stop. Okay. Close enough. Those aren't our people, are they? And there's definitely a fuel tanker there. No, I think we're here. This is where they want us. Or is that them? Good enough, I'd say. They can just drive their truck over here. That's how that can work. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying. on OMG Airlines. I hope you've had a pleasant flight. I mean, we made it without incident, and you still got some daylight. Oh, and in turn, while you're in Ohio, while you're in Columbus, I'd like to tell you things you can do in the greater or the central Ohio area. Here in Columbus, you can go ahead and fuck yourselves. You can fuck off. Get off my plane. All right. There's your Buckeye heart of it all. Welcome. Sure, my co-pilot shares my sentiments that you can all go fuck yourselves. All right. Let's go ahead. They're like, I'm never flying on this airline again. And hey, you wouldn't be blamed. I guess I should have stopped the props before I turned off the engines. Yeah, keep making noise warnings. No one cares. In fact, we can just shut those off right this minute. And I'm going to catch up on chat. Last time you never turned off the lights. This time you never turned them on. I don't know why I go to extremes. It's going to be one extreme or the other. When a plane lands, 5 people run out and spray paint the blue arrows, and 2 people are behind the plane removing the blue arrows. It's really a cumbersome job, and probably a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it. All right. Well, now hold on. How do I get a proper ending here? So the screen comes up and all that. I bet if I turn off avionics master power. Yep, that's right. All right. KPHL to KCMH. Total time of flight, 1 hour, 33 minutes. As opposed to our estimated time of flight, which is going to be 2 hours, 17 minutes. So honestly, like, what are we, 45 minutes ahead of schedule? I don't know if that's something to be proud of. It's efficient, but that's kind of raises some questions, doesn't it? All right, well, folks, I needed that. I need a little stress burn off, and that provided it. That certainly provided it. This is interesting. 100% of gross receipts Microsoft receives from sale of this plane for a year after PC launch will be given to the Antonov company to either rebuild or memorialize the plane. If you're not familiar, the Antonov was I might be mistaken, but I think it was the largest plane in the world. It was hangared in the Ukraine. And, of course, Mr. Putin's thugs destroyed it. And so there's that. You know, that's kind of interesting, though. by purchasing that plane in-game, you're helping them either rebuild or memorialize. Seeing the pyramids would be kind of cool. Seeing that giant statue to Christ would be cool too. Where is that? Is that in Brazil? I believe it is. Is that going to be Everest over here? That would be something else to see. Anyhow, I'm at a point where I'm just kind of rambling, so I think other than checking in with co-pilot says great flying, nice and chill. Appreciate it. And appreciate you being aboard, of course. Samuel says, so next flight the weather is going to be a thunderstorm. It might be. You know, the next time we do have a rainy evening here in Ohio, because if I do another leg of this, I would probably... Let me go to the world map real quick. Let's change it to daylight anyway, so we can actually see. Let's see, Columbus. That's John Glenn International. That's where we would be taking off from. And then we would be flying west. I'd want to keep it around, I don't know, anywhere between an hour and a half and 2.5 hours. So I think, I wonder what St. Louis would be like. My point is, yeah, I could kind of watch the weather, and when we're getting storms in Columbus, I could choose to take off that night. That way we can actually see that in game. I also wouldn't mind it actually being a little after dark, or let's see, if we were to set that as our arrival. Well, St. Louis would be 2 hours, 7 minutes, but I bet we can cut that down by 45 minutes. So let me try a little further. Beyond the fact that I think I've done that flight, so we'll delete that as arrival. Where did it put us? Back at Columbus? Yep. Okay, so let's check further than St. Louis. Because now that I know that I can cut that time, that ETA down quite a bit. We could probably do Minneapolis, Des Moines, Kansas City, even Little Rock. Something like that. Let's go under the impression that we would do Minneapolis. Take the northern route. And that looks like kind of a busy airport. So they would set that to 3 hours and 23 minutes, 554 nautical miles. That's doable, because I could definitely get that down under 3 hours, probably by quite a bit. We could shave 45 minutes off of that, obviously. We might even be able to shave an hour off of that. Plus, it would put us over Lake Michigan. Yeah. That'd be worthwhile. That would mean that we, like, ultimately along this whole thing, we started in Halifax. That would mean we'd still have a few more flights before we reach the West Coast. So it'll be that, or if I have the wherewithal to get together an in-flight movie, then we would switch to an Airbus. At which rate I would probably not abandon this going to the West Coast thing, but you know, I'd do a different flight altogether. Maybe an international one or something like that. Yeah, international flight to Japan. Yeah. You know, something like that. If we got the Airbus, I don't think I'd trust the Beechcraft to pull that, but you know, maybe. Also, I think the mountain on the main menu is Mount Fuji. Okay. Either way, Mount Fuji would be cool to see. Everest would be cool to see. Yeah. Or we could, what mountain range did they crash into in Alive? Was that the Swiss Alps? No. Maybe that was, no, because it was South America, wasn't it? I don't know. Either way, I think that'll do it for me. As always, I appreciate everybody stopping by, taking this flight with me. I enjoyed it immensely. I will talk to y'all soon. As I always say, if you like this. If you subscribe to this sort of thing, do that. And thank you for flying. Be well.